In this video, I will show you how I designed a new church for my HO layout, because the old church was low and small, and I'd like to have something that looked like a Romanesque church from the city of Cologne, some elements of gothic architecture attached to it, and some other elements that I would like to have. So let's see how it worked out. I used a CAD program to make a plan of the church so it would fit on the layout. So starting from the bottom up and making the church as high as possible. It would be about 30 meters in real life. It is 33 centimeters for HO scale. The model should be suitable for 3D printing. I used a high central tower to prevent the nave from looking too short. To give the church more history, I made it look like originally it had two towers on the west side, and one has been demolished in the 17th century. I went so far to create even vaults in the church, which you normally don't see in model churches. But I thought it looked nice, and with the windows and lighting inside the church, it would give a nice effect. The back part of the church is gothic, and it is a bit higher than the original Romanesque bit. I took some inspiration from many churches in Cologne in Germany and used plans and pictures and everything I could find about it. The Gothic windows needed to be printable but also detailed, so you need to find the right compromise. I didn't make an exact copy of the original churches, I used them as inspiration. I also combined a lot of elements from different churches. I removed some windows from the transept to make it more robust. Many real churches have different style elements from different periods. I used this in this model as well. This looks nice enough. I needed a clergy house and a vestry in one building. To have a reference during painting, I created horizontal mortar joints. I wanted slate roofs, so I modeled slates to have a realistic look. Now that the design is ready, I need to divide the model so I can make printable parts of it. And I did a final check to see if it would fit on the layout. I don't own a 3D printer, so I load the models on the website of 3D Print Shop. The main reason for printing is the repetitive nature of all the features, which is hard to make by hand. Two test prints, on the left SLS ABS and on the right FDP resin. SLS was about 25% of the price and good enough for me. The rougher surface of the SLS looks very good for recreating stone surfaces. The fit was quite alright, only small modifications are needed. The small columns are only 1 mm thick. The new church needs some new stairs on the layout. This base plate with reference points will be glued to the layout. To prevent light shining through, the inside of the church is first painted black. And then a white layer of paint is added on top of that. The outside of the church gets its first base color. I have mixed several colors for the outside. Individual stones get different colors. This will later be toned down. I used dry brushing with a white color to soften the tones of the different colors. Before dry brushing and after dry brushing. Using a wash of diluted black acrylic paint will highlight the details of the model, and by using several layers it will increase the contrast. The part on the left has already been washed. Some of the details of the 3D printed spire were not visible, so I needed to add yarn with superglue. After painting, the difference couldn't be noticed. The roofs are painted in slate colors and the model is placed on the layout to check how it looks. And I painted the gothic windows and the copper roof of the small tower. An N-scale model of a lady in a long dress was used to make Saint Barbara. To simulate LED light windows, I used a ruler, plastic sheet, a knife and acrylic paint. Great. I use very cheap acrylic paint for this type of work. This looks a bit messy, but the end results will be quite okay. And with thin enamel paint, you can simulate stained glass windows. I used a mixture of plastic cement, glue and pigments to prevent light leakage at the Gothic windows. Then the windows can be positioned. And I bonded the model together while the glue was hardening. Two LED lights for interior lighting. and add some additional weathering to make it look older. And finally, testing the light. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it. Thank you for watching.